Of course, last week I was talking about the fruit of the Spirit. Yes, in which these fruits, when you exhibit in you or when you have it in you, people are going to see or people are going to know that you are what? You are a child of God. Of course, Galatians 5 verse 22 to 23 has this verse. And to understand these virtues deeply, we should therefore what? Show it in our real life. So today I'm going to link it with some of the stories in the Bible. I'm just going to take only 2 items out of the 9. Yes. And then see how we can exhibit in our real life. Of course, when you look at Luke chapter 15 verse 11, yes, that's where the story of the prodigal son begins. Prodigal, in natural sense, someone who is very wasteful. Yes, who wastes resources, actually. This is what a man who had 2 sons, of course, the youngest coming to the father and then telling the father that I need part of my possession. And father agreeing and then giving it to the son, and then the son going out there and squashing living an extravagant life, lavishing everything, and later coming back to the father. In our modern day time, if it were to be me and you, of course, we wouldn't have what? We wouldn't have ever accepted this child back. But listen, the father, out of what? Pure love, what? Accepted his son back, threw a feast for the son, and later welcomed him into his what? Into his home, into his mansion. Yes, that's the kind of what? Love we need to show in our real life. So that is what the first item when it comes to the fruit of the Spirit. That is what we should show in our daily life. Wherever we may be, we should show what? Love, because love is what? Very important. And once again, of course, the second item in which I want to talk about is what? Is joy. Joy. Of course, when we link it into the Bible, some of the stories or some of the narrative in the Bible, I'm linking it to what? Acts chapter 16 verse 16 to what? 40, in which Paul and Silas were in prison. Of course, Paul was in later time, he became Paul, who was what? Saul, who was prosecuting what? The disciples who were spreading, or people who were spreading what? The gospel of Christ. He was prosecuting them. And later on, God himself what? Came. He got blind, and then one of the disciples what? Healed him. Okay? So yes, and later on, they were, spreading the gospel and all that, and then they were being captured by some of the what? Roman army. Some of the soldiers. Yes. When he was captured and was placed in this cell, together with who? Together with Silas, they were praising God. Of course, in their what? In their distress, in their need, they were still what? Praising God. Okay? They didn't look at their current what? Situation. That's what I and you should exhibit. You understand? In times of what? In need, in time of distress. That's what we need to show. That's the kind of what? Seed what we need to show. You understand? Yes. The kind of seed we need to sow is what? Joy. So later time, they were praising God. And then what? God, through his mercies, what? Opened the cell for them. Yes, he opened it for them. That's what we need to do. We need to over what? We need to exercise that what? Over happiness in us. Whenever things are what? Down. Whenever things are not what? Going well. That's what you need to what? Exhibit. When you do these things, God can what? Open a doorway, a closed door unto us, a locked door unto us. Yes. like God did unto what? Paul and Silas in their time of distress. So today, this is what I want to talk about. The 2 items, what? Yes, they are actually 9 though, but today I want to talk about 2. Yes, that's what I just talked about, love and what? Joy. So the next time I'll be talking about, I will take 2 items and then discuss it with you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.